There is one less candidate in the race for the presidency tonight. Delaware Senator Joseph Biden dropped out of the hunt today, saying the disclosures about his plagiarism in law school and his exaggerations about his academic record made it impossible for him to continue.
I do it with incredible reluctance, and it makes me angry. I'm angry with myself for having been put myself in the position of having to make this choice.
The Delaware Democrat is the second candidate to be forced from the race by questions of character and integrity. Gary Hart dropped out earlier this year.
Now, on the political scene, one of the Democratic candidates is Senator Joseph Biden. Have you seen the problem he's been having? He went around and made a speech. And apparently, he quoted I think it was a British politician, took his speech and kind of paraphrased it as his own. And then the press got on him, and then he was charged also with taking part of Bobby. And Biden says, not to worry, he reassured his staff. He said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Hunter Biden, in many ways, is a weakness for the former vice president because of his work. He was I'll call it out. He's a swamp creature, like many people, trading under his family name to make money around the world.
Jake Tapper, he stopped an interview with a Trump spokesman for listing Biden's record on racial issues. He stopped him. I mean, he just kept interrupting and stopping. We've got a clip. Let's take a look.
The president said that he is declaring the KKK a terrorist organization.
Why
That's
now?
That Joe Biden never did in 47 years.
Well, President Trump's been
Joe
president
Biden had 47 years to do it, Jake, and he never did. He was vice president for 8 years. He never did it.
President Trump has been president
for less than 4 years.
President Trump has been
less than 4 years compared to 47, Jake. Less than 4 years compared to 47.
Tim, can you say
we're
the
happy.
words, I condemn white supremacists? Are you able to say that? I do
Sure.
not.
And the president did it. The president has done it multiple times.
So you could tell Tapper got visibly frustrated multiple times over Murtaugh's answers. Then he pushed back against that, and eventually he just pulled the plug altogether when the Trump campaign representative, Mr. Murtaugh, began firing back about Biden's previous links to segregationists and his recent comments about African-American voters. Take a listen.
Joe Biden, meanwhile, palled around with racist, segregationist senators to prevent the integration of schools. His own running mate took him to task for that during a Democrat debate.
If we're going to start talking, I did, of course. And if we're going to start talking about,
if we're going to talk about,
that's fine. If you want to talk about what Joe Biden was doing in the 1970s when he worked with segregationist senators,
let's talk about how just in this election,
have at it.
He said that he believes that all black people think the same, and he said if you're not voting for him and you're black, then you ain't black.
I'm not Chris Wallace. Thank you, Tim.
Fact.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, earlier today, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany was asked if President Trump would denounce white supremacy, and she reads a long list of times the president did that, but the reporter wasn't satisfied with her response. Check this out.
As the person who speaks for the president, does the president denounce white supremacism and groups that espouse it in all their forms?
This has been answered yesterday by the president himself, the day before by the president himself on the debate stage. The president was asked this. He said, sure, 3 times. Yesterday, he was point blank asked, do you denounce white supremacy? And he said, I've always denounced any form of that. I can go back and read for you in August 2019, in one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. In August of 2017, racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups. I have an entire list of these quotes that I can go through with you. He has condemned white supremacy more than any president in modern history.
Just to clear it up this morning, can you, naming it, make a declarative statement that that the president denounces it?
I just did. The president has denounced this repeatedly. The president was asked this. You're contriving a storyline and a narrative.
Asking you to put
he said
to rest.
I just did.